In studio, I'm joined by Proverb. Now, a lot of people know you as a musician, but today I want to tap into your journey as a father. So I want to find out more about Khusi and Dipusho. So just tell me more about them.
Sure. Look, man, I have two wonderful kids. They are my inspiration. They are the reason I work as hard as I think I do, and I find that my entire life is modeled around being a father, where I live, what I do, my hours, and so on. So they are first priority.
And how old are they?
My little girl Ditsupo is 7 years old. She turns 8 in June. And my soldier Khusi turns 5 now in April. Yeah, man. And there's talks of a third, but those are still talks.
Oh, I see. There's more coming. And how has being a dad affected your writing, your career, your commitments? I mean, you do so much.
Look, I've always been very conscious of my material, what I put out there, what I sort of stand for, stand behind. But I think more so now that I'm a father, because I want my kids to be able to listen to my music. And I don't want anything I have to justify in the future if they say old enough to understand some of the broader concepts. So I'm very aware of what I speak about, of what I do, what I'm a part of, just because I feel like eventually I'll have to answer to them. And also just to practice what you preach. You can't tell them one thing and then get out there do something else, So I'm very sort of aware of my content.
And I mean, considering the fact that you have multiple commitments, I mean, there's idols, they say there's hosting, there's co-producing, there's Proverb music productions. Yes. How much time do you have with the little ones?
Look, as I say, my kids are my priority. So I design my life in such a way that they will always come first. If my kids were to call me now, we are cutting this short and I am going home. That's sort of how first priority they are. And my life is designed that even though I travel a lot and I do a lot of other things, I also spend a lot of time at home, and I find that you have to prioritize them just as much as everything else, if not more. That way you're able to spread yourself out that much, So in other words, what I do is in my diary, I would schedule all my commitments first. So all the fun walks at school, their little plays and their parent evenings and all that. And then I would put my bookings and commitments on top of that. That way, those dates will never sort of be in the way of anything else,
And have you had any parenting challenges along the way?
Of course, there's always parenting challenges, but it's a learning curve. And what I find that parenting, is there isn't, I suppose there are books about it, hey? But there aren't rules, and in my opinion, there isn't the perfect parenting manual. You kind of have to figure it out as you go, and that's what my wife and I do. We kind of we speak about these things. We make mistakes, I'm sure, but we also don't put too much pressure on ourselves. To get everything perfect. It's kind of trial and error. We try new things with our parenting styles. I for one enjoy talking to my kids, and I don't even speak to them like they little kids. I speak to them because I know they have a certain level of understanding that as parents we tend to maybe take for granted, and you think that's beyond them. Sometimes they'll say something back to you and you weren't even ready for that conversation. You know what I mean? So in return, I give them that much respect, and I speak to them on my level. And if they don't understand, they can always ask.
And based on your own experiences, what advice or just a little tip that you have for parents out there?
Well, look, I'm always careful to take the stance of, oh, let me advise you, because that would assume that I'm getting it right and my way is the perfect way. So I can only speak on my way or our way, okay? And for me, it's exactly that. It's being present with them. It's not so much about quantity of time versus quality. It's not how much time you spend with them, but it's what you do when you are with them. So for me, I try I try and not be on my phone, not be distracted by TV or anything else, and I just really engage with them and find out where their headspace is at. And I find that they kind of open up and they'll share with you about their sort of thinkings, their fears, their aspirations, and those are the kind of moments that I enjoy sharing, you know. And because I have two, newly so, what I try and do now is I try and have time with each, and I will just take my daughter out and we will, you know, I'll find out what she likes, what she feels like doing, and I'll do that with her, and I'm fully present and not distracted, you know, and I engage, and I do the same thing with my son and my wife, of course. And I don't know, for me that's just proving to, I feel like our bond is just is very tight, you know.